Well, hello everybody. My name is Darnell and welcome to our Legal Shield presentation. It's my honor and privilege to share with you all what someone shared with my wife and I years ago when we took a look at this incredible presentation. I'll just give you 2 minutes on my background. Born and raised in the Maryland, D.C. area. Probably raised like most of you. My parents told me to go to school, get some good grades, get out and get a good job. And I did that. I went to college right there in the Maryland area. However, it took me 7.5 years to get my 4-year degree. Now, I know I'm not the only person that was on the 7-year program, but I was so undecided in school. I was every major, you name it, I was it. And so by the time I graduated with my degree in public relations, my experience working at this retail establishment, you know, the mall, it sounds good when you say retail establishment, it actually outweighed my degree from college. And so the mall was paying me about $40,000 a year, but my degree, fresh out of college, offered me about $24,000 a year. So I couldn't afford to take a pay cut just to get a job in my degree, so I stayed there at the mall. If you ever work retail or know someone who has, you know my hours. I work 60, 70, sometimes 80 hours a week. When people called in, I had to go in. Of course, weekends were the most important time in retail, so I missed everything. Family reunions, they were celebrated on the weekends, so missed those. Birthday parties, celebrated on the weekends, missed those. Sporting events for my kids, of course, they were on the weekends, missed those. And so I said to myself, it's no way am I going to do this for the rest of my life. And at that time, I was in my 20s and retirement was 55. And I'm thinking, man, that's a long ways away. And then it went up to 65. Now it's like 105, right? It's getting up there. And so I decided to do something a little different. And I answered the ad in the paper. This ad said, if you keep doing what you're doing, you keep getting what you've got. I know it sounds weird, but I went into this interview, never forget it, was my exposure to the home business industry. Tried several different things, didn't make any money. And so when Legal Shield came along, there was some hesitancy, but you know what encouraged me? I read this book on wealth. It said the average millionaire gained that wealth after the 7th or 8th different venture. I said, man, I got about 4 more things I can try then. So, of course, I hadn't had to do that. I started Legal Shield when I was 28 years old. We were 32. We were notified by the company that we've been inducted into the Millionaires Club. So I'm excited to share with you all this information on this unbelievable service that we offer and an opportunity that's attached to it. So let's get started. You know, can you imagine picking up the phone, calling a lawyer, and not worrying about the hourly rate, but just one monthly fee? Well, I know that it's hard to imagine that because it's never existed before. I mean, the real color of justice hasn't been black or white, but green. And we know we get as much justice as we can afford. And so we realize that most people cannot afford $200 an hour for a lawyer when the average person doesn't even make $20 an hour at their job. So we've been priced out of the justice system. So imagine, if you will, being able to pick up the phone and calling a lawyer on several situations. Now, I know when I first heard of this, picking up the phone, calling a lawyer on several situations, I'm thinking to myself, look, I'm 28. I've never really used a lawyer before. Why should I start prepaying for one now? I haven't used over 28 years, may not use over the next 28 years. But the gentleman that did the presentation said, Darnell, it's not whether you've used a lawyer, whether you needed to use a lawyer. See, it's not if, it's just when. Think about this. Have you ever been overcharged for repair or treated unfairly? Perhaps you signed something and later on wished you wouldn't have signed it. Maybe you had a moving traffic violation. Okay, because it's not if, it's just when. In fact, over 2 million requests come into our law firms annually. So it's not whether people need our services or not, it's whether people are gaining access to the legal system. Gaining access to the justice system is so empowering to me. Just put yourself in a position right now to be able to pick up the phone and speak with a lawyer, and you don't have to worry about a bill reaching your home afterwards. This is huge because, look, I'm the only child. And so it used to frustrate me when people in school said things like, well, I'm going to get my big brother on you. Well, I didn't have a big brother. I couldn't say that. But I do now. It's called Legal Shield, looking over my shoulder. So if anyone takes me for granted, anyone treats me unfairly, anyone does something that I feel like I have no power in, I say, look, you know, let me call my Legal Shield lawyer. Now they can give them a phone call. Not only that, they'll write letters and make phone calls on your behalf. And we know a lawyer writing a letter means a lot more than you writing a letter. Okay, it has their letterhead. It's important to do that. They review contracts and documents up to 10 pages. They say the bold print giveth and the fine print taketh away. So before you sign anything, you have your lawyers take a look at this. Look, people sign things all the time. They sign cell phone contracts. They signed gym memberships. They're leasing an apartment. They're buying a home. No one's reviewing your contracts on your behalf. It's time that we take advantage of a legal service that's affordable, and that's Legal Shield. I'm excited that this exists now because I signed a contract a long time ago and received a bill for $10,500. It was from a homeowners association situation. And I didn't understand why I owed $10,500, so I didn't want to pay it. Well, guess what? The law firm reviewed the documents. They told me which documents to send up to 10 pages, the HUD sheet, and so on. Well, they called me back, and they said, Mr. Self, don't worry about it. Your $10,000 went away. I couldn't believe that. And I said, well, what happened? Because I was inquisitive, nosy. So I wanted to know what happened. What they told me is they said that in the closing docs that I signed, that 25% of the homes must be up in that development before they can even start charging me HOA fees. So again, what they saved me that one time actually have paid my membership for life when I tell you how much this is every single month. So that's exciting. One-time usage has paid for itself. Not only that, but they prepare a last will and testament for you. And on a very serious note, we know that most folks don't have a last will and testament. I've seen families break up, split up, no longer speak because someone didn't have a will. We're saying don't put your family through that. I don't care if you're 18 years old watching this or you're 81 years old. Death should bring families together. Unfortunately, it doesn't when there's no last will and testament. There's no living will to determine what you would want to happen when you can't make that decision yourself. Legal Shield gives you this just for trying out the service. So that's at no additional cost. We'll give you this last will and testament for having the service. Huge value right there alone. Look, I can go on and on with all the different things that are covered. IRS situations, we're going to assist you with that. Legal forms, we actually give you access to do your own work. If you like to, you can send it off to the law firm for review. Trial defense, we'll assist you there because we live in a very litigious society. Motor vehicle, I must stop and say this. I've used this area most often, unfortunately. And the wonderful thing about our service is that you're covered, your spouse is covered, any never married dependent children up to the age of 21 living at home, 18 if you're the legal guardian of that child, 23 if they're full-time in college, and if they're physically or mentally challenged, regardless of age, living at home, all under this one membership. Now, one of the things that I love about our service is that you get a discount on anything that falls outside of the 100% coverage. Now, don't get me wrong, 90% of the things that people call our law firms for are covered under the membership, no additional fees. However, you get a discount on anything that falls outside of that. Those are things that more traumatic situations we talked about earlier, like divorce, child custody, bankruptcy. We have no idea how many man-hours that's going to take, but you get a discount. Look, you can't find a lawyer for discount anywhere, but we have law firms for a discount here with Legal Shield, even on pre-existing conditions. We also get 24-hour access in emergency situations. Now, I love this because, things happen outside of office hours. You're being questioned, detained, or arrested. Things happen. Again, we're saying that bad things happen to good people, too. We're not saying we want bad people to do worse things. I can't imagine dealing with life and not having access to a lawyer in all the situations that we deal with. So let's just say that you were my attorney. And if you were my attorney, how much would you charge me for all of these things? How much would you charge me for that peace of mind I just talked about? Forget the hourly rate. Let's work out one monthly fee. And let's say I'm a celebrity. I can write you any check you say. So not just for you, but I want your entire law firm. Because if I call on a real estate situation, I want someone that has experience in real estate law. If I call on a traffic situation, I want someone that can go help me out in that traffic situation, and even in another state. And so I want access to law firms, not just a lawyer. How much would you charge me for all of that? I know people tell me hundreds or thousands, but look, Legal Shield didn't make it that. We made it something so that the average person would say, you've got to be kidding me. And I want to share that with you in just 1 second. Before I do that, let me just say, make sure you get a brochure, because for what I just went over, there's a lot more that I didn't go over. So I want you to understand all of your benefits. So make sure you get that brochure from the person who gave you this video. Now, I do want to share this with you, because if that was it, then we have the best company in North America. But we've added on an additional service, the Identity Theft Shield. Why? Because we found that identity theft is the #1 consumer complaint category for 11 years in a row. And so to complete that peace of mind, we've added on what we call the Identity Theft Shield, which, by the way, is provided by Crow Incorporated and marketed by us. And the reason why we say that is because it's important that you understand that Crow is a leading risk management company in the world. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. So they're a quality firm that typically helps out countries and companies. And so the huge risk management company, and what they're able to do is, one, of course, all the expected benefits. They're going to make sure that they monitor your credit, give you a score analysis. But here's what makes us so different. Not only do we monitor, but we actually go in and restore. With the limited power of attorney, our private investigators can go in as them or with them to restore their identity for them. We also have safeguards for minors, which separates us. And plus, along with our legal plan, this really separates us. This is what causes us to be so unique, because I talked about that peace of mind earlier. Well, to complete that peace of mind, again, it's good to have both the identity theft and the legal plan, because many people who have an identity theft situation, they eventually end up with a legal situation. So we have dedicated provider law firms that are here to assist us. And what that means is that you can take the messenger out of it and put the message in there. And that's why the system works so well. It's because we have law firms ready to assist you. Plus, if you have a situation with a lawyer and you didn't have legal shield, how do you go to that lawyer and complain? You can't. Or you can go to the bar association. How long does that take? But here you can go to the Legal Shield and say, look, I'm a little dissatisfied. Legal Shield will step in and make sure that they call that law firm and resolve that situation. This is the reason why unequivocally we get better every single year, is because of the checks and balances system that we have set up. Now let's talk about Kroll. Kroll being the leading risk management company in the world. They have a Fortune 500 clientele. You may be thinking to yourself, how in the world can I afford Kroll when Kroll does federal background checks to help out all these huge companies? Or it's the group buying power. It's the same way we can afford these top-ranked law firms. It's the same reason why we're their #1 client in these law firms. It's not because you become their #1 client by yourself, but think about you and I and a whole bunch of other folks paying every single month. That's the reason why we can attract these best law firms, these top-ranked law firms, as well as Kroll Incorporated. That's why our system works so well. So earlier we asked you, how much would you charge me as an attorney to do all these things for me? Now I want you to add in the identity theft solutions. How much would you charge me now on a monthly basis for me to have access to you? And by the way, remember, I need you to keep a cell phone on just in case I need you at 2 o'clock in the morning. I need you to wake up, be coherent, and answer my questions. How much would you charge me for all of these situations? Well, people tell me hundreds, people tell me thousands. Some attorneys tell me you couldn't afford me. Well, the bottom line is, we're not talking about thousands or even hundreds. We're talking about $1 a day, about $35.95 a month, and that varies depending on your state of province and the plan that you choose, but about $1 a day, you have access to these services. That's why we're growing so fast, because for $1 a day, people have never had access to the justice system. It was $200 an hour. Look, I have friends that are lawyers that even have this service. Why? They don't know every area of law. They're tired of their family members calling them all the time, asking them legal questions they can't answer. Everybody should gain access to this Legal Shield membership. Now that you're taking advantage of the service, because I know you are, for $1 a day, it just makes sense to protect our families legally and with the Identity Theft Shield. So congratulations on getting the service. Now I have to ask you, who else do you know that wants to be worry-free every day, every night, now and forever? Well, I had a lot of people that I care about, a lot of people that I love, that I wanted to have access to this. And honestly, I would do it for free. And I'm not the only person, because our research analysis showed that 70% of the people that were interested in this product would refer it to other people before they even took advantage of it themselves. So knowing that, and they would do that for free, you don't have to do it for free. We're actually going to pay you for that. There's an opportunity attached to this. So we're going to pay you for letting other people know this exists. I know I'm smiling hard because I can't imagine that, this is what I get to do for a living. This is all I've done. I haven't had a job in over 10 years, and it's only because I get to let people know about this service, and Legal Shield is willing to pay me for something I would have done for free. When you're taking a look at any opportunity, you want to make sure that company's credible, it's authentic, it's not in business today and gone out of business tomorrow. Who wants to be involved with something that's not legitimate? No one. You can spend a lifetime building up credibility with your name as a dentist or a pastor, but one wrong decision can take all that credibility away. So you want to make sure that company is credible. Well, Legal Shield has been around since 1972, and so we're a rock-solid company. We're not looking for guinea pigs. We already know it works. You know why? Because 2.1 million requests come in annually to our law firms just for advice. Not only that, but we have 1.4 million happy families across USA and Canada. And really, when you add up the family members that are under one membership, that'll probably equal about 4 million people that are protected under their Legal Shield membership. And so we're a rock-solid company, been around for a long time. We got a service that everyone needs, but yet no one has. And we've got a marketplace right now that's looking for something that will offer the peace of mind that we offer. So why join this legal revolution? Well, one, for income. People are looking for additional cash flow today, and I can see the reason why that's important, especially if it didn't take away from what you're currently doing. You know, it's called scary in my book. If you go to work and you get paid and you don't go to work, you don't get paid. What happens if you can't go to work anymore? Everyday things happen to everyday people. And we're just saying that additional cash flow, a plan B opportunity is always important. People are also looking for time freedom. You know, look, people make a lot of money but don't have any time, and some people have a lot of time with no money. So you want freedom. I'm looking for both time and the money, and you can get that here with Legal Shield. Why? Because it's an incredible market potential. Just a little bit over 1% of households that own a Legal Shield membership right now. We know that, look, if you can find a void and fill it, you can become wealthy. And the thing I love about Legal Shield is people can't go get it anywhere else. If I was offering long-distance services right now, you have to compare it to your current long-distance services. If I was offering makeup right now, you have to compare it to your other lipsticks and makeup. If I was offering vitamins, you compare it to your retail establishments. But there's nowhere else to go compare this because people don't have access to lawyers for $1 a day. It's $200 an hour when the average person doesn't make $20 an hour with their job. So there's nowhere else to go except us, which has created an incredible void, and we're the ones filling it. So again, a huge opportunity. So what do you need to do to take advantage of this opportunity? Well, there's only a one-time $149 investment. What do you get for the $149? You get this business in a box. So you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself, because you have a training program. That training program is going to teach you step by step, word for word, exactly what to do. And again, if you're anything like me, I believe I can do anything if I'm taught how to do it by someone who's already done it. So you have access to that. You have a support team, not just from the person that introduced you, because perhaps they just got started themselves. So they may be inspired to help you, but don't have the education to help you. So they can lead you to a basic training program that we have, and an expert in your local marketplace will teach you and the person who invited you into the business at the exact same time. That means you have the potential to make just as much as the person that introduced you. This is important to understand because no one's here to hold you back. Everyone wants to see you succeed, and we have trainers willing to show you their mistakes so you can avoid some of those pitfalls, their success so you can simply duplicate the system. And I love that because when people say, well, I'll try it out, we'll see what happens. You don't have to try anything. You only have to try things that have never been done before. This has been done before. It's proven. We have so many people that are successful, so make sure to get to your training class so we can show you exactly what you need to do. We also have an online tutorial, which will teach you exactly what you need to do there as well. So some of you are saying, look, I'm ready right now. What can I do before the training class starts? You can actually go online and start to train yourself through a module, and it's wonderful. It'll take you step by step what you should be doing in the beginning of your business. As a matter of fact, it's called your first step training. That means that's what you should be doing when you take your first step in the business. You also have an associate support system. That means that you can pick up the phone and you have hundreds of employees waiting to take your call to assist you with questions you may have when you can't reach out to your sponsor, when you can't reach out to your leadership. So you have that system set up as well. And we have just a plethora of things that are available for you to grow with that's going to help you along the way in your business, because when you start your business, you'll continue to learn more things, but then there'll be additional training classes to continue to teach you how to advance to that next level. One of our favorite things that you get when you start your business is the Associates Benefits Plan. And I love this plan because you get benefits on things that you would typically go and spend money on anyway. For an example, I spend money every single month on my cell phone bill. Well, with this benefits plan, I actually get a discount on my cell phone bill, and the discount is greater than what I actually spend every single month on my Legal Shield membership. So I'm actually saving money just by being a benefits member, and you have that same opportunity. So make sure you take advantage of that and look at your benefits membership brochure that comes in your business in a box. Now, let's talk about getting started with our program when you have limited time. Because if you don't have any time, there's no problem there, because we actually have tools in place all across North America that will help you to build a business in spite of what you have going on in your life right now. For an example, there are luncheons that take place all across North America, professional luncheons. That means you can send someone out lunchtime, they can hear a presentation by someone who's already successful, someone's professional in a marketplace, let's say that you're not even in. They go, they have lunch, they check out their presentation, they like what they've seen, they sign up. They had nothing to do with you. You were still running your business, you were still in class if you're a college student, you were still watching your kids if you're a mom. So all these things you can still do as we build your business through the system. You have weekly business presentations all across North America that take place. You have DVDs that will do this presentation for you. Okay, as you learn yourself how to do the presentation, that means if you have limited time tomorrow, this DVD can be in 8 different homes at one time. That's leverage you, because you can't be at 8 different places at one time. So all these tools that we have actually leverage you as you build your business. And there's much, much, much more than even what I'm mentioning today on this quick video. So let's talk about how we get paid, because that's important. Because I know that you'd go out and do this for free. I would. It just makes sense to go out and empower people with this membership just because I care about them. Well, Legal Shield actually pays you for doing the thing that most people would do for free. And there's 3 major ways that we get paid. One is from personal advances. That means that you go out and do the work, we're going to pay you a personal advance, a commission into your account. How's that work? Well, anywhere from $34 to $252 based on the $35.95 plan I went over earlier, they're going to send you in your account. So $34 as a junior associate, all the way up to $252 for sharing the service. Look, once you get good at the flipbook presentation, it takes you maybe 15 or 20 minutes to share the membership portion of our presentation. And you're gonna make anywhere from $34 to $252. Let's just take $100 at one of the lower levels, $103. Can you imagine going on a lunch break, taking 2 friends, one says, yes, I need a service. You made $100 on a lunch break. I barely made $100 working all day long at the mall. This is huge. You don't have to quit your job. This is extra money. So if you want $800 this month, that's 8 customers at the associate level. And that's just one way that we get paid. We also have team overrides. That means when you help other people to succeed, you're actually going to make an override. Now watch what I'm saying carefully. It's not when you help other people fail, it's when you help other people succeed. So you have an interest in helping people to succeed. At my job, unfortunately, when I worked at the mall, I was afraid to teach other people how to do what I was doing because they could take my job. And I didn't understand. I said, I trained you. How are you going to take my job? I never understood that. But here, you can help people to succeed. And when they succeed, you succeed. It's mutually beneficial. I love that. And you get to dictate your raise. So if you want to go fast, go fast. You want to go slow, you go slow. You want to make a lot of money, you can do that with this compensation plan, okay? So help people to succeed, and you'll make a team override. And that team override, by the way, is cumulative. So today, let's say that you're a senior associate and I'm an associate. Well, whenever I share the service, I make $103. Thank you for introducing me. You're my senior associate. You make $34 whenever I make $103. I can make more than you, but I'm doing the work. Who cares? You made money for something you didn't do, $34. If I get 10 customers, I make $103 times my 10, what, about $1,000? Thank you so much for introducing me. You make $34 every time I make $103 times my 10 customers who you didn't know for $340. And that was just one of me. What if you had 10 of me? Think about this. During the holiday season especially, people get jobs, part-time jobs, and some of them don't make $340 working part-time. I just showed you how to make $340 working no time. And it's all because of leverage. And that's exactly how this works. So just in case these $34 overrides seem minimal, let me tell you a real story. Because depending on the amount of success of the person that you introduce, these numbers can really add up. Look, I have a good friend of mine, Mike Humes. He delivered mail for a living in the Washington, D.C. area. And this guy got started. He was excited. So his second year, he did a little bit over $100,000 with Legal Shield. But because I introduced him and he went to the training class, the company sent me $30,000 or thereabout in team overrides when he made $100,000. Now think about this. He wasn't mad because he never made $100,000 running from dogs as a postal worker. I wasn't mad because they sent me $30,000 for something I didn't do. It was because of his success. You see, though, this is powerful because, again, it's mutually beneficial. He won and I won at the exact same time. I didn't even care if he made more than me. I felt good that he had changed his life and the company rewarded me in a team override. Okay, so you get the team override when you help other people succeed. And again, that's cumulative because if you're an executive today and I'm brand new, you can get paid 34 plus 34 plus 34 plus 34 plus 44. Okay, here's my point. At some point, you may not understand your check, but you will cash it anyway. Okay, that's going to happen. Now, you also make a residual income. I love residual income. You can do something one time and get paid over and over and over again. I think I told you earlier, I started this business when I was 28 years old. I'm in my 40s now. I know I look good. But I'm still getting paid off of things I did decades ago. And God willing, if I'm here when I'm 50 and 60 and 70, for the life of that member, we'll still get paid over and over. Now, real quickly, let's talk about launching your business, because you can either start your business or you can launch your business. And it's very important that we launch your business to create that testimony. Now, I know when you get the money, you can spend it and it's gone, but that testimony lives forever. It'll live for you or with you for 10 years, 20 years. Mine still lives from my very first month in Legal Shield. So let's talk about why these first 4 weeks, this first month in Legal Shield is so important. What do? You have to become what we call Fast Start Qualified. Now, you get 30 days after you go to your basic training class to accomplish this. That way we can pay you the maximum amount and you can advance faster, okay? The way this works is you go out and get 5 memberships. 5 people who say, look, I need a service. Or you can go out and get 3 members, and one of those members decides to invest the $149. So either 5 memberships or what we call 3-in-1. 3 memberships with 1 junior associate. And then you what we call Fast Start Qualified. You receive your check, you move up to the associate level, and we've launched your business. You've attended your basic training class, and you get 30 days to go out and Fast Start Qualify. Here's what's exciting about that. Go out and market 1 membership, just 1 membership, and you're already at that point eligible to receive your associate's benefits plan. So right away, you started receiving the benefits I talked about just by 1 membership. Plus, you get paid off the 1 membership. It's not like you don't get paid as you go on to Fast Start Qualify. You're getting paid the $34 as you Fast Start Qualify. But what happens is as you go on and get 4 additional memberships to Fast Start Qualify, then you actually make even more money. Okay? Or you can go out and get additional 2 memberships and 1 associate, and you become Fast Start Qualified. My point is, when you get out of basic training class, even though you have 30 days, go market that 1 membership right away and start saving money through your benefits right away. Do that the same day you get from your basic training class, if you can, and then go on to Fast Start Qualify. Now, there's plenty of incentives we can go over today. We have bonuses that we pay out, wonderful trips that we get an opportunity to take. But more importantly than the trips and the bonuses, we have a culture that we've developed. Positive people, an environment where you get an opportunity to learn from forward-thinking, like-minded people. That's so different. You know, unfortunately, I was around people who complain about their life, complain about their job, but weren't willing to do anything about it. My children have grown more through Legal Shield than they have from the 4 walls of their school. It's because we have an opportunity to go to huge events. We have an opportunity to be around people that are pushing us to success, not trying to hold us back from success. A good friend of mine says a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Both of them still have a strong flame. So we live a life of abundance, not scarcity. So don't be afraid to tell everybody about this, because there's enough for everybody at the top. There's one thing I want to share with you before we end here. One, you don't have to worry about whether this really works or not, whether this is a real company or not, whether people are really getting paid or not. I know people are tired of all the get rich quick, all the hype, all the companies that are here today, gone tomorrow. I'm with you on that. We're talking about a company that's already paid $1 billion with the B over the past decade. So look, that's a fact. So we're not wondering if they're going to pay you. We've already done it. We've got a track record. We've got history, non-negotiable, irrefutable. It's already happened. It's researchable. I love that about our company. So we're not dangling the proverbial carrot on the stick. We're not saying one day here's what's going to happen. People are tired of the one day someday dream. You know what I'm talking about. You know, one day here's what's going to happen. Look, one day isn't even on my calendar. I've got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but no someday, no one day. It's just it's not there. But the bottom line is I get excited, as you can tell, about where we are today, because we have an opportunity to change people's lives. Yes, we have people that are making an extra $50,000 a year on top of what they're already earning. We have, of course, dozens of people that are earning between 6 figures and $1 million a year. Yes, that exists. But let me be quite upfront with you. There's a lot of folks who an extra $500 to $1,000 a month can change their lives. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about life-changing income over time, not short term, but think about long term. That's completely up to you because it's based on your participation. It's based on your activity, okay? But the great thing is no cap here. There's no glass ceiling here. You do as much as you want or as little as you want. And I know if someone like myself who worked at the mall, and I've come from a place that was a humble background. So I don't want to preach a, from poor to wealth story, from rags to riches story. We've never really suffered. My mother worked for the government. My father drove the Metro bus, which is the DC transit system. So we weren't suffering, but I certainly wasn't living a life of abundance. I certainly had to look at my kids and say, maybe next year kids will go. I certainly had to look at my wife and say, maybe one day we'll move into that house. That's where I was, but not any longer. So get started as an associate. We're going to tell you and show you what you need to do right away once you get started as an associate, okay? Because that's our job. So your next step is complete your first step training. That's right online. You can do that right away. And we'll tell you exactly what you need to do. If you have any confusion whatsoever, there's an audio link that you can listen to. It'll tell you how to fill out your first step. So it's real simple for you. Next, we want you to attend your basic training class because, again, it's important that you learn the ins and outs. This is a quick DVD, so there's no way for you to learn everything you need to know about our business. There's more ways to get paid than what we even went over today. There's business to business. In other words, small businesses need this. There's corporations we can offer this, but there's other things that you need to know. So I need you to get to your basic training class so you can understand the full scope and will of what we do. Okay, so get to your basic training class as soon as possible, and then the clock starts to tick. You get your 30 days to become Fast Start qualified. And we want to help you to do that because we want you to get a check. Not because that one check is going to make you wealthy, but we call it your belief check. And we know once you make that first check, you're going to say, man, I can make a little bit more. Look, I end with this quick story. A young lady, I'll never forget it, she says, Mr. Self, how have you helped so many people to make $1 million in Legal Shield? And I said, I appreciate that accolade, but I haven't. I just helped them make their first 500. They gave themselves permission to make 1,000. And once they made 1,000, they said, you know what, I bet I can make 2. It was relative all the way up. So what we're saying is get started. You start to wherever you want to get started and make as much as you want to make. And I guarantee you, once you earn a certain amount of income, you'll tell yourself, you know what, I bet I can make more. It's a self-imposed barrier that holds us back away from the things that we deserve because we've told ourselves, maybe by listening to others, what we couldn't achieve. I'm telling you today, I'm giving you permission to succeed. If it can happen for me, it certainly can happen for you. Listen, God bless you. I'm glad you took a look at this information. I'm looking forward to working with you. Look forward to celebrating your success and certainly looking forward to seeing you over the top. Take care and congratulations on being a part of the Legal Shield family.